A mirage, by William Gilbert. Where I were bright, and the whole world beside, were not too wide to hold my wealth of love, where I were bright. Upon my breast my loving head would rest, as on a nest the tender turtle dove, where I were bright. This heart of mine would be one heart of wine, and in that shrine our happiness would dwell, where I were bright. And all day long our life should be a song, no grief nor wrong should make my heart rebel, where I were bright. The silvery flute, the melancholy lute, the night owl's hoot to my low whispering coo, where I were bright. The skylark's trill were but discordant shrill to the soft thrill of wooing as it woo, where I were bright. The roses sigh, as the carousels cry, to lullaby such as I'd sing to thee, where I were bright. A fever's press will lead in heaviness to my caress, but when unhappily I'm not my bride. Ah me, by William Gilbert. When maiden laughs, she sits and sighs, she wanders to and fro, unbidden teardrops fill her eyes, to all questions she replies with a sad "I-O." 'Tis but a little world, hey-ho, so soft, 'tis cackling heard, hey-ho, and idle breath, yet life and death may hang upon a maiden's hey-ho. And maiden love she mops apart, as old moppers on a tree. Although she keenly feels the smart, she cannot tell what ails her heart. With its sad "ah me," 'tis but a foolish sigh, ah me, born but to drop and die, ah me. Yet all the sense of eloquence lies hidden in the maid's "ah me." An appeal, by William Gilbert. Oh, spare not one maiden breast which does not feel the moral beauty of making worldly interest subordinate to sense of dulling. I would not give up willingly all matrimonial ambition to rescue such a one as I from his unfortunate position. Oh, spare not one maiden here, whose homely face and bad complexion have caused all hopes to disappear of ever winning man's affection. To such a one as such will be, as were by heaven's ark above me, you will cast your eyes on me, however plain you be, I love you. Blue Blood, by William Gilbert. Spurn not the noble born, with love affected, nor treat with virtue scorn, but well connected. High rank involves no shame, we boast an equal claim, with him of humble name to be respected. Blue blood, when virtue's love is sought, the power is naught, for dating for the flood, blue blood. Spare us the bitter pain of stern denials, with a flow-born disdain open our trials. Heart's justice, pure and fair, may beat in Belgrave Square, as in the lowly air of 7 dials. Blue blood, and for the veil art thou to serve me no, though dating from the flood, blue blood. Don't forget, by William Gilbert. Now Marco dear, my wish is here. While you're away, it's understood, you will be good, and not too gay. For every trace of maiden grace you will be blind, and will not glance by any chance on womankind. If you are wise, you'll shut your eyes till we arrive, and not address a lady less than 45. You'll please to frown on every gown, but you may see, and oh my pet, you won't forget you've married me. Oh my darling, oh my pet, whatever else you may forget, and yonder isle beyond the sea, oh don't forget you've married me. You'll lay your head upon your bed at set of sun. You will not think of anything to anyone. You'll sit and mope all day, a hope, and shed a tear upon the life your little wife is passing here. And if so be you think of me, please tell the moon. I'll read it all, and raise that fall on the lagoon. You'll be so kind as tell the wind how you may be, and send me words, my little birds, to comfort me. And oh my darling, oh my pet, whatever else you may forget, yonder isle beyond the sea, don't forget you've married me. General John, William Gilbert. Bravest names for fire and flames, and all that mortal dust were General John and Private James of the 6071st. General John was a soldier tried, a chief of warlike duns. A haughty stride and a wavering pride were Major General John's. A sneer would play on his martial fist, superior birth to show. Pictures of the good word of his, and he often said, "Ha ha." Full Private James described might be as a man of a mournful mind. No characteristic trait had he of any distinctive kind. From the ranks one day cried Private James, "O Major General John, if doubts of your respective names my mournful mind upon, a glimmering thought occurs to me, its source I can't unearth, if a kind of notion we were cruelly changed at birth. Have a strange idea each other's names, and we have each got one, such things have been," said Private James. "We have," sneered General John. "My General John, I swear upon my oath I think to this." Proudly sneered his General John, and he also said, "Ho ho." "My General John, my General John, my General John," quoth he, with aristocratical sneer upon your face I blush to see. a truly great or generous cove, deserving of them names, would sneer at a fixed idea that drove in the mind of a private James. Said General John, upon your claims no need your breath to waste. If this is a joke, full Private James, it's a joke of doubtful taste. But being a man of doubtless worth, if you feel certain quite, and will probably change birth, I venture to say you're right. Sir General John, as Private James, fell in parade upon, and Private James, by change of names, was Major General John. He laughs, William Gilbert. He laughs, as if the bygone years thine eyes have ever shed tears, bitter unavailing tears, for one untimely dead. If in the eventide of life sad thoughts of her arise, while if the memory of a wife plead for my boy, he dies. He dies, fondly laid aside in some old cabinet. Memorials of a long-dead bride lie, dearly treasured yet, a little hallowed bridal dress, a little dainty gloves, a withered flowers, a faded tress, plead for my boy, he laughs. John and Freddy, by William Gilbert. John courted lovely Mary Ann, so likewise did his brother Freddy. Fred was a very soft young man, while John, though quick, was most unsteady. Fred was a graceful kind of youth, but John was very much the strongest. That's the way, said she, in truth, I marry him you dances longest. John tries the maiden's taste to strike, with gay, grotesque, outrageous dresses, and dances comically like Clodagh and Co. at the princess. Freddy tries another style. He knows some graceful steps and does them, a breathing poem woman's smile, a man of poesy and bosom. Now Freddy's operatic pass, now Johnny's hornpipe seems entrapping. Now Freddy is graceful and reaches, now Johnny is skilful self-lipping. For many hours, for many days, for many weeks performed each brother, for each was active in his ways, and I would give in to the other. After a month of this, they say, the maid was getting bored and moody, a wandering curate passed that way and talked a lot of goody-goody. Oh my, said he, with solemn frown, a general for each dancing fritter, like unregenerated clown and harlequin at some variety. He showed that man and dancing do, both impulsive and absurdly, and proved his proposition true. But firstly, secondly, and thirdly. For months both John and Freddy danced, the curate's protest little heeding. For months the curate's words enhanced the sinfulness of their proceeding, and lent their boat to nature's rule. Their steps grew feeble and unsteady, and Freddy fainted on his stool, and Johnny on the top of Freddy. Decide, we, let him be named, whenceforth was his wife may rank you. I've changed my views, the maiden said. I will marry a curate, as thank you. Says Freddy, here's goings on, to pass myself with Rachel and ready. I'll be curate, whispers John, and I examine poetic Freddy. But while we read for it, these chaps, the curate booked the maiden bony, and when she's buried him, perhaps, she'll marry Frederick or Johnny. King Goodheart, by William Gilbert. There lived a king, as I've been told, in the wonder-working days of old, and hearts were twice as good as gold, and 20 times as mellow. Good temper triumphed in his face, and his heart he found a place for all the erring human race and every wretched fellow. When he had a Rhenish wine to drink, it made him very sad to think that some a drunkard or a chink must be content with toddy. He wished all men as rich as he, and he was rich as rich could be, so to the top of every tree promoted everybody. Ambassadors cropped up like hay, prime ministers in such a sway grew like asparagus in May, and dukes were free a penny. Lord chancellors were cheap as breads, bishops and their shovel hats were plentiful as tabby cats, if possible, too many. And beside field marshals gleamed, small beer where lords lieutenant deemed, with admirals the ocean teemed, and round his wide dominions. And party leaders you may meet in twos and threes in every street, maintaining, with no little heed, their various opinions. But king, although no one denies his heart was of abnormal size, yet he had acted otherwise if he had been actual. The end is easily foretold, and every blessed thing you hold is made of silver or of gold. You long for simple pewter, and you have nothing else to wear but cloth of gold and satins rare. For cloth of gold you choose to care, up goes the price of shoddy. And shown whoever you may be, to this conclusion you'll agree, and every one is somebody, when no one's anybody. Life is lovely all the year. William Gilbert. And the buds are blossoming, smiling welcome to the spring. Life is choose a wedding day. Life is love and merry May. Spring's green, fa-la-la. Summer's rose, fa-la-la. It is sad when summer goes, fa-la. Autumn's cold, fa-la-la. Winter's grey, fa-la-la. Winter still is far away, fa-la. Leaves in autumn fade and fall. Winter is the end of all. Spring and summer teem with glee. Spring and summer win for me, fa-la. In the springtime seed is sown, and the summer grass is mown. In the autumn you may reap, winter is the time for sleep. Spring is hope, fa-la-la. Summer's joy, fa-la-la. Spring and summer never cloy, fa-la. Autumn toil, falala, winter rest, falala, winter after all is best, falla. Spring and summer pleasure you, autumn I and winter too. Every season has its cheer, life is lovely all the year, falla. Limited Liability by William Gilbert. Some 7 men from an association, if possible all peers and baronets, they start off with a public declaration to what extent they mean to pay their debts. It's called the capital. If they vary, they will not quote it at the sum immense. The figure is immaterial, it may vary from 18 million down to 18 pence. I should put it rather low. A good sense of doing so will be evident at once to any debtor. It's left to you to say what amount you mean to pay, and the lower you can put it at, the better. Then proceed to trade with all who trust him, quite irrespective of a capital. It's shady, but it's sanctified by custom. Bank, railway, loan, or Panama Canal. You can't embark on trading too tremendous. It's strictly fair and based on common sense. If you succeed, your profits are stupendous. If you fail, what goes out at 18 pence? Make the money spinner spin, for you only stand to win. You'll never with dishonesty be twitted. For nobody can know, to 1 million or so, to what extent your capital's committed. If you come to grief and creditors are craving for nothing that is planned by mortal hand, as certain in the vale of sorrow, saving, that once a liability is limited. I suppose that signifies petition, and so you but the monetary dance. You merely fill a winding-up petition, and start another company at once. Vote Rothschild you may be in your own capacity as a company you've come to utter sorrow, but the liquidators say, never mind, you needn't pay, so you start another company tomorrow. My Lady, by William Gilbert. Bedecked in fashion trim, with every curl a quiver, or leaping a light of limb, or rivulet and river, or skipping out the lee on the folly and daisy, or stretched beneath the tree, or languished and lazy. Whatever be her mood, be she demurely prude, or languishingly lazy, my lady drives me crazy, when her heart is wooed, whatever be her mood. A prophet should again suppose she loved me dearly, her coldness turns my brain to verge of madness merrily. A kiss, for heaven knows, dream of it but reason, would tend, as I suppose, to utter loss of reason. My state is not amiss, I would not have a kiss, which in or out of season might tend to loss of reason. A prophet in such bliss, a fig for such a kiss. One Against the World, by William Gilbert. It's my opinion, for I own, and thinking so I'm quiet alone. In some respect I'm but a fright. You like my features, I suppose. I'm disappointed with my nose. Some rave about it, perhaps they're right. My figure just sets off a fit, but when they say it's exquisite, and they do say so, it's too strong. However, I'm not what people call opinionated. After all, I'm but a goose, and may be wrong. In charms and frail, there's some excuse for measure strong. After all, I'm but a goose, and may be wrong. My teeth are very neat, no doubt, and after all they may fall out. I think they will, some think they won't. My hands are small, as you may see, but not as small as they might be. At least I think so, others don't. But a girl may preach and pray from morning 6 to evening 8, and never stop to dine. The whole world, over mislead, is quite agreed on any head, and it is quite agreed on mine. What's said and done, as a little eye against the throne. I'm only one, possibly I am be wrong. Only Roses, by William Gilbert. To a garden full of posies come one together flowers, and you wander through its bowers, toying with the wanton roses, or upspringing from the beds, hold on high their shameless heads, their pretty lip pouting, never doubting, that vocifering posies he would gather aught but roses. In a nest of weeds and nettles lay a violet half hidden, hoping with his glance unbidden, yet might fall upon her petals, or she lived alone, apart, hope lay nestling at her heart. But alas, when cruel awaking set little heart a-breaking, for gathered for his posies only roses, only roses. Poetry everywhere, by William Gilbert. What time the poet hath hymned a riving maid, live-limbed, curving on a very finest photo, how can he paint the woes, knowing as well he knows, and all can be set right with calomel. And from the poet's plinth, where Morris cloves and yearns for the aloe, faint with rapturous thrills, how can he hymn the throes, knowing as well he knows, that we are only uncompounded pills? Is it and can it be nature half his decree? Nothing poetic in the world shall dwell, or whet in all her works something poetic lurks, even in colorsive and calomel? Put a penny in the slot, by William Gilbert. If my actions stiff and crude, do not laugh, because it's rude. If my gestures promise larks, do not make unkind remarks. Clockwork fingers may be found everywhere and all around. 10 to 1, if I but knew your clockwork figures too. The motto of a lot, put a penny in the slot. You sure for money lent, making out a cent per cent. Widow plump or maiden rare, deaf and dumb to suitors' prayer, tax collectors whom in vain you implore to call again, cautious voter whom you find slow in making up his mind, you'd move him on the spot with a penny in the slot. Blind reporters in the courts who suppress police reports, sheriff's human pen and fist, making out your jury list. Stern policemen, tall and spare, acting all upon the square, which in words that plainer fall means that you can square them all. If you want to move the lot, put a penny in the slot. Said I to myself, said I, by William Gilbert. And I went to the bar as a very young man. Said I to myself, said I, I'll work on a new and original plan. Said I to myself, said I never assume that a rouge or a thief is a gentleman worthy implicit belief, because his attorney has sent me a brief. Said I to myself, said I, I'll never throw dust in a juryman's eyes. Said I to myself, said I, or hoodwink a judge who's not otherwise. Said I to myself, said I assume that the witnesses summoned in force, the ex-queer Queen's bench come and please her divorce, have perjured themselves as a matter of course. Said I to myself, said I go into court, I will read my brief through. Said I to myself, said I, and I never take work I'm unable to do. Said I to myself, said I, my learned profession I'll never disgrace by taking a fee with a grin on my face, and I haven't been where to tend to the case. Said I to myself, said I, never professions in which man engages. Said I to myself, said I, the army, the navy, the church, and the stage. Said I to myself, said I, professional license, if carried too far, your chance of promotion will certainly mar, and I fancy a rule might apply to the bar. Said I to myself, said I. Sleep on, by William Gilbert. Fear no unlicensed entry, heed no bombastic talk, regards the British sentry, Pall Mall and Birdcage Walk. That European thunders occasion no alarms, or diplomatic blunders may cause a cry to arms. Sleep on, ye pale civilians, all thunderclouds defy. On Europe's countless millions the sentry keeps his eye. Should foreign-born rapscallions in London dare to show their overgrown battalions, be sure I let you know. Should Russians or Norwegians pollute our favored clime, with rough barbaric legions, I'll mention it in time. So sleep in peace, civilians, the continent defy, while in its countless millions the sentry keeps his eye. Sorry her lot, by William Gilbert. Sorry lot who loves too well, have you a heart that hopes but vainly? Hath ever sighs that own the spell, uttered by eyes that speak too plainly? Have you a soul that bows the head, and love is alive and hope is dead? Sad is the hour when sets the sun, darks the night to earth's poor daughters, and to the ark, the very once, flies from the empty waste of waters. Have a star that bows the head, then love is alive and hope is dead. Speculation, by William Gilbert. Comes a train of little ladies, whom scholastic trembles free, each a little bit afraid is wondering what the world can be. Is it but a world of trouble, sadness set to song? Is its beauty but a bubble bound to break along? Are its palaces and pleasures fantasies that fade, and the glories of its treasures shadow of a shade? Schoolgirls we 18 and under, whom scholastic travels free, and we wonder what on earth the world can be. The Ape and the Lady, by William Gilbert. A lady fair, of lineage high, was loved by an ape in the days gone by. The maid was radiant as the sun, the ape was a most unsightly one, so it would not do his sheen fell through. For the maid, when his love took formal shape, expressed such terrors at his monstrous error, that he stammered an apology and made escape, the picture of a disconcerted ape. With a view to rise in the social scale, he shaved his bristles and he docked his tail. He grew mustitious and he took his tub, and he paid a guinea to a toilet club. But it would not do, the shimmer fell through, for the maid was beauty's fairest queen, with golden tresses like a real princess's, while the ape, despised his razor keen, was the apest ape that ever was seen. Bought white ties, and he bought dress suits, he crammed his feet into bright tight boots, and to start his life on a brand new plan, he christened himself the Vinyan Man. But it would not do, shimmer fell through, for the maiden was fair whom the monkey craved, was a radiant being with a brain for seeing, while a man, however well behaved, at best is only a monkey shaved. The Disagreeable Man, by William Gilbert. If you give me your attention, I will tell you what I am. I am a genuine philanthropist, all other kinds are shame. Each little fault of temper and each social defect, a marrying fellow creature, I endeavor to correct. To all the little weaknesses I open people's eyes, and plans to snap the self-sufficient I devise. I love my fellow creatures, I do all the good I can, and everybody say I'm such a disagreeable man, I can't think why. To compliments inflated I the quivering reply, and vanity I always do my best to mortify. A charitable action I can skillfully dissect, and interesting motives I'm delighted to detect. I know everybody's income and what everybody earns, and I carefully compare it with the income tax returns. But to benefit humanity, however much I plan, and everybody says I'm such a disagreeable man I can't think why. I'm sure I'm not ascetic, I'm as pleasant as can be, will always find me ready with a crushing repartee. I've an irritating chuckle, I've celebrated sneer, I've an entertaining snigger, I've a fascinating leer. To everybody's prejudice, I know a thing or two. I can tell a woman's age in half a minute, and do what all I try to make myself as pleasant as I can. And everybody says I'm such a disagreeable man, and I can't think why. The Englishman, by William Gilbert. He is an Englishman, for himself has said it, and it's greatly to his credit that he is an Englishman. For he might have been a Rosian, a French, a Turk, a Prussian, or perhaps Italian, but in spite of all temptations to belong to other nations he remains an Englishman, a rare for a true-born Englishman. The Fair Queen's Song, by William Gilbert. O foolish fay, think you because man's brave air, my bosom force, I disobey our fairy laws? Because I fly in realms above, and tendency to fall in love, resemble I the amorous dove? Our amorous dove, type of Ovidius Naso, this heart of mine is soft as wine, although I dare not say so. On fire that glows with heat intense, I turn the house of common sense, and out it goes at small expense. We must maintain our fairy law, and that's the main on which to draw, and which we gain a Captain Shaw. Or Captain Shaw, type of true love kept under, could the brigade with cold cascade quench my great love, I wonder. The First Lord's Song, by William Gilbert. Then I was a lad as served the term, as office boy to an attorney's firm. I cleaned the windows and I swept the floor, and I polished up the handle of a big front door. I polished up that handle so successfully that now I am the ruler of a Queen's Navy. As office boy I made such a mark, and it gave me the post of a junior clerk. I served the writs with a smile so bland, and I copied all the letters in a big round hand. I copied all the letters in a hand so free, and now I am the ruler of a Queen's Navy. In serving writs I made such a name, that an article clerk I soon became. I wore clean collars and brand new suits, for the pass examination at the Institute. And the pass examination did so well for me, that now I am the ruler of a Queen's Navy. Of legal knowledge I acquired such a grip, that it took me into the partnership, and the junior partnership, I ween, was the only ship what I have ever seen. A kind of ship so suited me, that I am the ruler of a Queen's Navy. I grew so rich that I was sent by pocket ball into Parliament, always voted in my party's call, and never thought of thinking for myself at all. I thought so little they rewarded me by making me the ruler of a Queen's Navy. Now, landsman, or whoever you may be, we want to rise to the top of a tree. If your soul isn't fettered to an office stool, be careful to be guided by this golden rule. Stay close to the desk and never go to sea. You may be the rulers of a Queen's Navy. The Ghost's High Noon, by William Gilbert. And the night wind howls in the chimney coals, and the bed in the moonlight flies, and inky clouds like funeral shrouds sail over the midnight skies, and the footpads quail and the nightbirds wail, or black dogs bay the moon. Then is the scepter's holiday, then is the ghost's high noon. As the sob of a breeze sweeps over the trees, and the mists lie low and the thin, from great tombstones I gather the bones that once were woman and man, and away we go with the mob and the mow, to reveal that ends too soon. For crow limits our holiday, the dead of the night's high noon. And when each ghost with sliddy toast to the churchyard beds take flight, with a kiss perhaps on the lantern ships, and grisly grim good night, till the welcome knell of a midnight bell rings forth its solemnest tune, and ushers our next high holiday, the dead of the night's high noon. The Great Oak Tree, by William Gilbert. There grew a little flower neath a great oak tree, and the tempest 'gan to lower, little heeded she. Nor need had she to cower, for she dreaded not its power. She was happy in the bower of a great oak tree. Sing hey, like a day, let the tears fall free for the pretty little flower and the great oak tree. And she found that he was fickle, was the great oak tree. She was in a pretty pickle, as she well might be. But the gallantries were mickle, for they followed with a sickle, and the tears began to trickle for a great oak tree. Sing hey, like a day, let the tears fall free for the pretty little flower and the great oak tree. Said she, he loved me never, little great oak tree, but I'm never rich nor clever, and so I should he. What fate or fortune sever, to be constant I endeavour, and forever to a great oak tree. Sing hey, like a day, let the tears fall free for a pretty little flower and a great oak tree. The Independent Bee, by William Gilbert. A heap of bees, as I've heard say, said to the Queen one sultry day, Please your Majesty, high position, the eve is full and the weather is warm. You rather think that due submission, the time is come when we ought to swarm. Bzz, 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 bzz. Up spake the Queen, and thus spake she. This is a matter that rests with me, where there's opinions was to form. I'll tell you when it's time to swarm. Bzz, 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 bzz. Her Majesty wore an angry frown. In fact, Her Majesty's foot was down. Her Majesty sulked, declined to sup. In short, Her Majesty's back was up. Bzz, 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 bzz. Her foot was down and the back was up. He contained one obstinate bee. His name was Peter. Ever spake he, "Though the bee has shown white feather, to bow to tyranny I am not prone. How should a hive swarm all together? Sure a bee can swarm alone." Bzz, 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 bzz. Upside down and inside out, backwards, forwards, round about, twirling here and twisting there, topsy-turvily everywhere. Bzz, 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 bzz. Pitiful sight it was to see respectable elderly high-class bee, hocking the bean at 16 stone, trying his best to swarm alone. Bzz, 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 bzz. Trying his best to swarm alone. The hive were shocked to see the chum. Strict teetotaler, teetotum. The Queen exclaimed, "How terrible vary! It's perfectly clear to all the throng. Peter's been at the old brown sherry. Old brown sherry is much too strong." Bzz, 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 bzz. Of all who thus themselves degrade, a stern example must be made. To Coventry go, you tipsy bee. So off to Coventry town went he. Bzz, 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 bzz. There, classed of all who misbehave, both plausible rough and noisome knave, and dismal dumps ye live to own the folly of trying to swarm alone. Bzz, 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 bzz. All come of trying to swarm alone. The Love-Sick Boy by William Gilbert. And first my old love I knew, there was in wealth of joy. The riches to feed there through, I was a love-sick boy. No term seemed to extravagant upon her to employ. I used to mope and sigh and pant, just like a love-sick boy. But her incessant pales for sense, and love unchanged with cloy. She became a bore intense unto a love-sick boy. The fitful glimmer burned my flame, and grew cold and coy. At last one morning I became another's love-sick boy. The Modern Major General by William Gilbert. I am the very pattern of the modern Major General. I have information vegetable, animal and mineral, and of the kings of England and their quoted fights historical, the marathon to Waterloo, an order categorical. I am very well acquainted to with matters mathematical, understand equations both simple and quadratical. About binomial theorem I am teeming with a lot of news, with many cheerful facts about the square of hypotenuse. I am very good at integral and differential calculus. I know the scientific names of beings animalculous. In short, in matters vegetable, animal and mineral, I am the very model of the modern Major General. In our mythic history, King Arthur's and Sir Caradoc answer hard acrostics, everybody taste of paradox. I quote an elegiacs of the crimes of Heliogabalus, and corning second floor peculiarities parabolus. I can tell undoubtful of else on Gerardaus and symphonies. I never croaking chorus from the frogs of Aristophanes, but I can hum a fugue of which I've heard the music's din afore, and whistle all the else from that confounded nonsense plafond. When I can write a washing bill in Babylonic cuneiform and tell you every detail of Caractacus uniform. In short, and matters vegetable, animal and mineral, I am the very model of a modern Major General. In fact, when I know what is meant by mammalian and ravelin, when I can tell a sight a chest-pot rifle from a javelin, when such affairs as sorties and surprises are more varied, and when I know precisely what is meant by commissariat, and I have learned that progress has been made in modern gunnery, I know more of tactics than a whiz in a nunnery. In short, when I have a smattering of elementary strategy, you'll say it better, a Major General has never said a G. For my military knowledge, while plucky and adventure, has only been brought down to the beginning of a century, but still in learning vegetable, animal and mineral, I am very model of a modern Major General. The National Anthem by William Gilbert. A monarch is bestirred with cares, though no doubt he can often depend them. But one comes in a shape he can never escape, the implacable National Anthem. Of a quiet and rest he may yearn, yet pursues him at every turn, no chance of forsaking his rococo numbers, may haunt him when awaking the poisonous slumbers, like the Barnbury lady whom everyone knows, he's cursed with its music wherever he goes. Of its words but imperfectly rhyme, and the devil himself could scan them. With composer polite endures day and night, an illiterate national anthem. It serves a good purpose, their own. Its strains are devout and impressive. Its heart-stirring notes raise a lump in our throats as it burns with devout excessive. And a king who's been bored by that song from his cradle each day, all day long, was heard it loud shouted by throats operatic and loudly spouted by chorus and pathetic, by soldiers, by singular, by drum and by fife. Small blame for things if the plague of life, while the subjects sing loudly and long, the king, who would willingly ban them, sits void, disguising, anathematizing the bogey, the national anthem. The Policeman's Lot by William Gilbert. When the felon's not engaged in his employment, or maturing his felonies and little plans, his capacity for innocent enjoyment is just as great as any honest man's, so feelings with difficulty smother from constabulary duties to be done. I take one consideration with another, a policeman's lot is not a happy one. and the enterprising burglar isn't burgling, and the cutthroat isn't occupied in crime. He loves to hear the little brook a-gurgling and listen to the merry village gym. And coax is finished jumping on his mother, he loves to lie basking in the sun. I take one consideration with another, the policeman's lot is not a happy one. To my bride, whoever she may be, by William Gilbert. O little maid, I do not know your name or how you are, so as a safe precaution I'll add, O buxom widow, married dame, as one of these must be your present portion. Listen while I unveil prophetic law for you, and sing the fate that fortune has in store for you. You'll marry soon within a year or twain, a bachelor of circa 2 or 30, tall, gentlemanly, but extremely plain, and when you intimate you'll call him Bertie. And he dresses well, his temper has been classified as hasty, but is very quickly pacified. You'll find him working mightily at the bar, after a touch of 2 or 3 professions, from easy fluent is extremely far, a brief or 2 on circuit soup at sessions, a pound or 2 from whist and backing horses, and say 300 from his own resources. Quiet in harness, free from serious vice, his faults are not particularly shady, you'll never find him shy, for once or twice already he's been driven by a lady, or parts from perhaps a poor excuse for him because she hasn't any further use for him. A bride of mine, tall, dumpsy, dark, or fair, a widow wife maybe, or blushing maiden, I've told your fortune soft and garvest care, with which your mind has hereof been laden. I've prophesied correctly, never doubted it. Now tell me mine, and please be quick about it. Only you can tell me, and you will, to whom I'm destined shortly to be mated. Will she run up a heavy, modest bill? If so, want to hear her income stately. This is a point which interests me greatly. To quote the bard, have I seen her lately? She must have waited till husband number 1 is comfortably stowed away at Woking. How's her hair most usually done? And tell me, please, will she object to smoking? The colour of her eyes, too, you may mention. Comes, the prophecies, I'm all attention. When a merry maiden marries, William Gilbert. When a merry maiden marries, so goes and pleasure tarries. A sound becomes a song, all is right and nothing's wrong. From today and ever after, let your tears be tears of laughter. Every sigh that finds the wind be a sigh of sweet content. When you marry, merry maiden, in the year the love is laden, every flower is a rose, every goose becomes a swan, every kind of trouble goes, where the last year's snow have gone. Sunlight takes the place of shade, when you marry, merry maid. When a merry maiden marries, so goes and pleasure tarries. Every sound becomes a song, all is right and nothing's wrong. Gone on care and aching sore, get ye gone until tomorrow. Jealousies and grim array, ye are things of yesterday. When you marry, merry maiden, in a year the joy is laden, all the corners of the earth ring with music sweetly played, worrious melodious mirth, grievous joy and masquerade, sullen night is laughing day, all the year is merry May. When I first put this uniform on, for William Gilbert. When I first put this uniform on, I said, as I looked in the glass, it's 1 to 1,000,000 that any civilian my figure and form will surpass. Gold lace has a charm for the fair, and they've plenty of wit and to spare. All the lovers' professions, when uttered in Hessians, eloquent everywhere. A fact that I counted upon when I first put this uniform on. I said when I first put it on, it is plain to the very stuns that every beauty will feel it due to yield to its glamour at once. You will see that I am freely gold-laced, in a uniform handsome and chaste, but the peripathetics of long-haired aesthetics are very much more to their taste, which I never counted upon when I first put this uniform on. Would you know, by William Gilbert, would you know the kind of maid sets my heart aflame? Eyes must be downcast and staid, cheeks must flush for shame. She may neither dance nor sing, but in moo and everything, hang her head and modest away, with pounding lips that seem to say, kiss me, kiss me, kiss me, kiss me, or die of shame. Please you, that's the kind of maid sets my heart aflame. When a maid is bold and gay, with a tongue goes clange, flaunting it in brave array, maiden may go hang. Sunflower gay and hollyhook, never shall my garden stock. Mine the blushing rose of May, with pounding lips that seem to say, oh, kiss me, kiss me, kiss me, kiss me, although I die for shame. Please you, it's the kind of maid sets my heart aflame.